Welcome to Dr. A's weekly Healthy Bastards Health Tip. Hey folks, this week's health tip is thanks to Agnes, and she wants me to tell you about shingles. But before I can tell you about shingles, I've got to tell you all about chickenpox. So chickenpox is caused by a virus, which is a nasty little bastard. Look at this. It's an infectious agent that spreads from one person to the other, usually by coughing and sneezing or close contact. Now most people get chickenpox when they're kids, and they get a bit of a cold or a fever, maybe a bit of a headache, and this is followed by the development of little blisters. The classic little blisters called chickenpox vesicles. Have a look at these little things here. As soon as you see those, you think of chickenpox. Now in New Zealand, chickenpox is quite mild, but it can be bad if you're low in immunity, or you've got poor nutrition, like overseas and some of those starving kids and that, chickenpox can kill them because the virus just takes over their body. There's no immunity to fight it. So like in New Zealand then, chickenpox is a sort of a self-limiting viral disease, but it can be an issue with some kids because if they get a bit of secondary infection in those little bubbles, you can get some nasty scarring. And so that's why some people promote the chickenpox vaccine, even though it is quite expensive. Pregnant women have also got to watch out with kids who've had chickenpox because there is possibly a tie-in with babies inside them getting infected and this causing issues. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned chickenpox is that is the cause of shingles. Shingles is a disorder which is caused by the chickenpox virus. What happens is you get infected with chickenpox when you're a kid, and the virus moves into nerve tissue and just stays there dormant. Usually a special part of the nerve tissue called the dorsal ganglion. Have a look at this. But as you get older, what happens is your immune system, which keeps this virus in the nerve tissue, starts to wane a bit. And so the opportunity can happen where suddenly there's a dip in your immune system and the virus will activate itself and cause a shingles infection. Similarly, as you're, say, middle-aged or even younger, you might have a poor immune system, like if you're really stressed out or you've got a bad infection, or if you got AIDS. And suddenly this virus, which is normally kept in the nerve tissue, is released. And then what happens is it whizzes down the nerves and becomes blisters at the nerve endings. Like, look at this picture here. We've got blisters all along where the nerve is. And so it's specific to that nerve where it's been released. This here is classic shingles. So say if you get a bit of tingling somewhere in your body and then a rash like this forms, what do you do about it? Well, the first thing is you've got to go and see your doc, because if you get a bad shingles infection, especially if it involves the eye, it can give you a lot of trouble. Not just pain, but can actually damage the nerves long term. And so you've got to do everything you can to take the special antiviral medication that can only be given by doctors to reduce the severity of the infection. So that's the key message with shingles, is that it's easily diagnosed when you know what it is. You've seen the pictures, you get blisters along one nerve like this here, then you go and see your doc, they'll give you the medication and you'll come right. So that's my health tip this week from Agnes, who emailed me. Thanks Agnes, and I look forward to seeing you next week, eh? Be good.